Good morning, and I hope you're having a lovely morning wherever you are, and that you had a really fabulous weekend. So today I'm just going to, my message is kind of more of a drawing your attention to something that has come up a few times for some of my clients, and by virtue of that, me. Over the last few weeks. So I just wanted to alert you to it and get your opinions, I suppose. So basically, with my homeopathy hat on, I have several clients, not all my clients by any means, but several clients, especially in Ireland, because that's the way the health system works, who are reliant on health insurance policies in order to claim for their ongoing healthcare. And different insurers obviously cover different things. Different policies within the same insurer cover different things. So that's something that always needs to be checked. But I've had two clients recently, and actually one lady who wanted to come and work with me, but had to defer that at the moment because of this issue. And that is that at least two of the main insurers here are caveating the cover for homeopathy by saying that homeopathic practitioners must be a member of either the Irish Society of Homeopaths or the Irish Medical Homeopathic Society. Now, these are two registering bodies of many. Yes, they happen to be Irish, but we're part of the EU. So, anyway, that's a digression. So I have been in dialogue with these two insurers to actually try and ask or try and find out why they have chosen to endorse those two particular registering bodies over any other registering body. And I have so far not received any answers to my questions, just a repetition that that's their policy. So, and as you're probably aware, I'm not a policy holder, so I hold very little sway with the insurance companies. You, as the policy holders, if you are the ones who have the real power here. So I'm going to ask you to, first of all, if you think you're covered for homeopathy, check that you are, and that there aren't conditions on that exclude you from being able to choose the practitioner that you want to work with. One lady got caught out because her insurer did used to cover her practitioner that was not with those registering bodies, and then changed the policy midway through the year, which she wasn't made aware of. And so she was diligently keeping all her receipts, and she found out, unfortunately, at the end of the year that she actually couldn't claim for any of it, which is a terrible shock for anybody to realise. Now, obviously, if you have a policy in place, and a lot of the time it may not be your direct insurance policy, it might be something that your partner has from their work, or it might be something that comes with your job. It might be something that you haven't actually physically chosen. It's just something that comes with some work that you do, or some work that your partner does. I don't know. And it may be that you're actually quite happy to, not bother going through them for things like homeopathy or any other holistic, more natural healthcare methods, in which case, fine. But if you are relying on it, please check your policy to make sure that it is actually covering what you think it's covering. But also, if it isn't, most importantly, the first thing to do is to ask why any conditions that might exist. Ask them why they're in place, and don't accept that it's to quality control, because I'll tell you something, most people don't know what a registering body is. So a registering body is, if you're a member of a professional registering body, then automatically two things have to be in place. One is that you have trained fully with an accredited course of some description, right? So your training is not under question. It's already done and dusted, because if you're a member of that professional registering body, then that must be in place, and they will ask for proof for that. The second thing is you must have insurance. You must have professional insurance in place in order to to practice professionally. So those two things are prerequisites of any registering body, any professional registering body. And as I say, there are many all over the world. And the registering body that I am a member of is the Alliance of Registered Homeopaths. It happens to be based in the UK, but it is an internationally recognised organisation, and it has members from all over the world. And the third part of most registering bodies is that you commit to actually doing what's called continuing professional development. So you're committed to an ongoing standard of practice, if you like. And to be honest, I don't know any homeopaths who are practicing who wouldn't be doing that anyway. And I have come across some people calling themselves homeopaths who have perhaps, not done a fully accredited course, are not with a professional registering body, and some of them have been practicing for years and actually are very good. So that's another thing to consider. And there are others that are not so much. So I completely understand that a health insurer might decide to say, if you're going to claim from a homeopathic practitioner, it must be a practitioner who is registered with one of the professional registering bodies, and they can put a list there. There aren't hundreds of them, but there are many, more than just two, basically. But by restricting it to any one or two registering bodies, they're taking away your choice. And that is becoming, if that is the thin end of the wedge, if you like, if that is a way of restricting paying out claims, then you might want to question whether it's worth having that cover at all. Because if you can't actually take advantage of it, what's the point of having it? That's kind of how insurance companies work anyway, to be honest. And I think that's getting worse and worse and worse, that you have to go through so many hoops in order to actually claim all that money that you're paying back in policy and premiums, year on, year out. Anyway, I could go into a full-on rant about that, but I'm not going to. But I just wanted to draw your attention to this particular issue, because it's actually, at least 4 clients of mine, it's become an issue for them, and they've had to make some hard financial decisions. 2 of them have said outright, well, then I'm moving insurers, because it's pointless to me to have that cover if I can't work with the practitioner of my choice. And the other 2 are kind of bound because it's not their policy. It's a family policy that's in place with their husband's job. So that's it really, is to just ask you to examine your policies and make sure that you have the cover that you need and that is actually worth something to you. And if you don't, then maybe you ought to start reviewing how you take out your health insurance. And as I say, if it's not an issue to you, then great, that's fine. It will be, I know, probably peculiar to my Irish followers, maybe some Americans too, I don't know, because that's the way the health system works. But also to know that you don't have to accept what an insurer decides is their policy, because if it doesn't work for you, then it's pointless you having it. And vote with your feet. Go move to an insurer that does cover that. In my view, there's a very good insurer called the Hospital Saturday Fund that was set up to cover the more holistic therapies, and they're very good at covering all sorts of things, so you might want to look at that. But also, I would be really grateful if you let me know, either privately or in the comments below, if you have got medical insurance, health insurance, does it cover homeopathy? And if so, are there any conditions on that cover? That would be really helpful to know, actually, because I'm in dialogue at the moment, as I say, on behalf of some of my clients, because I don't want it to become a trend that those conditions are put on all policies, because it means that you as policyholders have your choices taken away. So that's it. I hope that wasn't too gloomy or too hard, but I just thought it was worth drawing it to your attention. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you're willing to share your details, it would be really helpful for my dialoguing. So have a fantastic week, and as ever, let me know if there's anything I can support you in. Take care. Bye.